The James Webb Space Telescope. How it will discover life in space. The James Webb Space Telescope, JWST, is the most powerful space telescope ever created. It was launched on December 25, 2021, and will help us discover life in space. The telescope could detect aliens, study distant galaxies, and probe the atmospheres of planets outside of our solar system. The James Webb Space Telescope is a large, space-based observatory that will replace the aging Hubble telescope and be a fantastic addition to the global astronomical arsenal. It promises to increase our understanding of the universe by leaps and bounds, and it's already making history. This video will discuss all that James Webb Space Telescope has to offer researchers, what it means for space exploration, and why it's so important. So buckle up and get ready for liftoff. What is the James Webb Space Telescope? The James Webb Space Telescope is a next-generation space observatory, successor to the Hubble Space Telescope. It was named after James E. Webb, the second administrator of NASA. The telescope was launched in December 2021 and will operate for at least 5 years. The James Webb Space Telescope has 4 main science goals: to study the history of star formation in the universe, to understand the formation and evolution of galaxies, to probe the first stars and galaxies that formed in the universe, and to search for signs of life in interstellar gas and dust clouds. The James Webb Space Telescope is expected to play a critical role in discovering life elsewhere in the universe. It will do this by studying the atmospheres of planets orbiting other stars. In addition, by looking for chemical signs of life, such as oxygen and methane, the James Webb Space Telescope could help us find evidence of alien life in distant worlds. The James Webb Space Telescope is also expected to detect large numbers of Earth-sized planets in the habitable zones of nearby stars. The habitable zone is the region around a star where temperatures are just right for liquid water to exist on a planet's surface. So, if we find any Earth-sized planets in the habitable zones of nearby stars, it will be strong evidence that there is indeed extraterrestrial life out there somewhere. In short, the James Webb Space Telescope is poised to play a significant role in discovering life in space, both here in our solar system and beyond. It's an exciting time to be a space enthusiast, and the James Webb Space Telescope is sure to bring us many discoveries. The James Webb Space Telescope will help us discover life in space. It can see further into space than any other telescope, which means that it can detect planets orbiting distant stars. If there is any form of life on these planets, the James Webb Space Telescope will be able to find it. In addition, the telescope will also be able to study the atmospheres of these planets to determine if they could support life. This information will be precious in our search for alien life forms. So far, we have only been able to speculate about whether or not another intelligent life exists in the universe. With the James Webb Space Telescope, we may finally have some answers. So far, the James Webb Space Telescope looks like it will be a precious tool in searching for extraterrestrial life. It can detect planets that are orbiting distant stars and study their atmospheres to see if they could support life. This information will be incredibly useful in our quest to find intelligent alien life forms. With the James Webb Space Telescope, we may finally be able to answer this question once and for all. What are some of its features? The James Webb Space Telescope has many features that will help it discover life in space. Some of these features include a large mirror, 21 feet in diameter that's almost the size of a school bus. It is also 4 times as large as the Hubble Space Telescope, has infrared capabilities, and will serve in the harsh environment of space. The large mirror is important because it will allow the telescope to see farther into space and capture more light. This will be crucial in discovering faint objects such as planets orbiting other stars. The infrared capabilities are also essential because they will allow the telescope to see through dust clouds and gas, which can obscure our view of potentially life-bearing worlds. Finally, surviving in space means that the telescope can operate for more extended periods and observe more targets. These features combined make the James Webb Space Telescope the perfect tool for discovering life in space. It can find planets that are similar to Earth and may contain living organisms. So far, we have only seen a handful of such planets, but with the James Webb Space Telescope, we may find many more. This will revolutionize our understanding of the universe and help us find new homes for humanity. Who is funding it? The James Webb Space Telescope is funded by NASA, the European Space Agency, and the Canadian Space Agency. A large collaborative project between these space agencies will allow us to explore further than ever before into the universe. Where will the telescope be stationed? Since its inception, the James Webb Space Telescope has been an integral part of the search for extraterrestrial life. It will be stationed at Lagrange Point, located about 1 million miles from Earth. This location was chosen because it offers excellent stability and visibility, making it the perfect spot for conducting detailed space observations. The James Webb Space Telescope is expected to help us answer some of the most critical questions about our universe, including whether or not we are alone in it. By studying distant stars and planets, we can look for signs of habitability. That is, whether or not they could support life as we know it. If we find evidence of life elsewhere in the universe, it would be one of the most meaningful discoveries in human history. Webb will also help us study the origins of our universe. The telescope will be used to study the origins of the universe and search for signs of extraterrestrial life. It's an incredibly complex piece of equipment, and scientists have been working hard to ensure that everything is perfect before launch. Webb will be able to see infrared light, which means that it can peer through dust clouds and gas planets to explore their inner workings. This makes the telescope a key player in searching for alien life forms. If we're ever going to find out if there is another intelligent life out there, Webb is our best hope. What are some of the things that Webb will be looking for? Webb will be on the lookout for planets that could support life, as well as signs of water or ice. The telescope will also study other planets' atmospheres to determine if they could be hospitable to humans. Finally, Webb will also search for traces of organic molecules, essential building blocks of life. This information will help us learn more about how life forms in space and whether or not we can find a home beyond Earth. What are some of the challenges that Webb faces? One of the biggest challenges facing Webb is that it operates in infrared light. This means that it can be easily obscured by dust and gas in space. Another challenge is that Webb is an enormous telescope, and it takes a lot of power to run. This makes it challenging to keep the telescope in operation for long periods. Despite these challenges, the James Webb Space Telescope is sure to be a game changer in the field of space exploration. With its advanced capabilities, Webb will be able to help us answer some of the most fundamental questions about our universe, including whether or not we are alone in it. Stay tuned for more updates on this exciting mission on our YouTube channel. Conclusion. So what will the James Webb Space Telescope be looking for? Anything and everything. But some of the things it will specifically focus on include searching for water in space, studying star formation, and finding new planets that could support life. And as you can imagine, all of this information is super exciting for scientists and researchers alike. I encourage you to watch my videos about the James Webb Space Telescope so that you can learn more about this fantastic piece of technology. Be sure to stay tuned because there's a lot more fascinating information to come. Thanks for watching my video.